So I got the idea for this video from Steven Russell Baseball over on TikTok. I honestly didn't even know this existed. Link to his stuff down in the description. A writer at CBS back in 2019 went and predicted who the top 50 players in Major League Baseball would be for the 2023 season. And now that that season's over, and now that we know that this exists, I want to go ahead and react to this, and maybe I'll go ahead and make my own predictions as to who the top 50 players will be in Major League Baseball in 4 or 5 years. If you want to see that, drop a like on the video. But enough of my blabbing and yapping. Let's get going into the reacting. So he has guys that are considered here. So Willy Adames, Miguel Andujar, Luis Castillo is a bad miss. Garrett Cole is a shockingly bad miss. Wow. DeGrom, obviously, if healthy, is different. Yohan Moncada. Ooh, okay. Trey Turner and Kyle Tucker, he did not think would be top 50 players. That's pretty insane. I can't wait to see who's on this list. Getting us started at 50. Wow, he gives team predictions, too. Do we want to go through that? Why not? It's my video. Cody Bellinger at 50. Prediction on the Nationals. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, I think, a relatively fair-ish spot for Cody Bellinger. He's a borderline top 50 player based on how he played last season. Number 49, Gary Sanchez is definitely a miss. He's obviously not on the Yankees anymore, and Gary's career has just taken a downturn. He had those crazy highs, and while he has gotten better, he's for sure not top 50. Whoa, number 48, Luis Urias. I mean, yeah, I know that he was a highly touted prospect, but whoa, I mean, he was, I guess, called the next Jose Altuve. That feels like a bold one, especially because in 2019, I want to say Luis Urias wasn't even very good or hadn't made his debut yet, so that was a crazy bold take. Number 47, Brendan Rodgers. This one hurts because, of course, a top 5 pick, I believe, back in his draft. Playing in Coors, you expect him to play shortstop. You thought he was going to be the reason why you push out Trevor Story was because of Brendan Rodgers, but with injuries and just lack of consistent play, he really hasn't been that good. Right now, we are, like 1 for 4 in guys who I could at least rationalize being close to the top 50. Again, unfair for this guy. Like, that's very tough, but Brendan Rodgers, that's a bad miss. Number 46, Bo Bichette. I think he's a borderline top 50 player. At shortstop, obviously, he's one of the better offensive shortstops, but defensively has been struggling. I don't have a problem with that. I think this is actually kind of calm considering where Bo Bichette was and how hyped he was. At number 45, well, we have Xander Bogaerts, who we predicted would be a New York Met, and that's because BVW, Brody Van Wagenen, was still the GM at the time. Yeah, no, obviously we know that's not the case. And Bogaerts, yeah, 45. Isn't that actually kind of where I put Bogaerts, I think, in my top 50 rankings? He's a borderline top 50 player. This is a completely rational one. Just a great, solid shortstop all around. Next up on the Rockies, he had Arenado at 44. He's kind of right. Arenado is no longer that top 10, top 15 player necessarily that he once was. Had to drop him down a little bit in my rankings. This is harsh, though. I guess because he saw him playing in Coors only, maybe he was just a little bit harder on Arenado than you would have expected. But I am kind of shocked to see him this low in a prediction when Arenado showed no signs of slowing down back in 2019, and he was basically going to be 32. That's interesting. 43, Jose Altuve. That one's a little bit tough. I mean, I guess we didn't fully understand how great Jose Altuve really was at the time. He was phenomenal. I mean, he was a great player. But I think these last few years, while he hasn't played completely fully healthy seasons, as baseball fans, we started to get that respect back for Altuve, of course, because the whole cheating thing, and just the fact that this guy mashes and mashes and mashes every single year, it can't be underestimated or just kind of underpraised. He's a beast. Number 42, whoa. Ahmed Rosario at number 42. Oh, this one hurts because, of course, he was one of the highly hyped up prospects in Major League Baseball, and he was a Met. So your boy included thought this guy was going to be great one day, and he has not turned out that way. That being said, keep an eye out for him this upcoming year. He went to Driveline. He could pop off. 42, though, yeah. This guy is not on a team. He is going to be fighting for a Major League roster spot coming spring training for whatever team he eventually does sign for. This feels crazy, though. I don't think he would have been projected top 50 in mine if I would have done it. But hey, when I do this for a video, maybe we'll see how crazy mine look in a few years. 41, Ozzy Albies. Is this where I put Ozzy Albies in my rankings? I gotta check now. I don't really remember off the top of my head. I mean, that's pretty close. I had Ozzy Albies at 38. He had him at 41. That's a pretty good guess right there. I also realized Bellinger was 49. He had him at 50. That's really good. Like, we've been kind of on the money on a couple things. And Bogaerts, he had at 45. I had him at 40. I'll keep track of where I'm at on these as well. But yeah, Ozzy Albies, this is a completely sane take, honestly. One of the better takes. Next up, Jack Flaherty. Ooh, yeah. I mean, we all knew the hype that Jack Flaherty had because of that crazy stretch where he was just unhittable for a while with the Cardinals. But as the years have gone on, the fastball's lost some life. He just genuinely wasn't as good as a pitcher as we once saw. He was also playing behind an elite defense in a pitcher ballpark. I think he could have a very solid year with the Tigers coming up here. But yeah, top 40, definitely not that player anymore. And injuries, of course, played part into this as well. Next up at number 39, he's got, oh boy, Andrew Benintendi. I feel the pain there. I get that one because I loved Andrew Benintendi, especially when he was with the Red Sox. I love this guy. He was a stereotypical, prototypical number 2 hitter. He hit the ball at all fields, had a little bit of pop, played good defense. I loved Andrew Benintendi, but yeesh, as we know, the White Sox and him were not great last year. He was horrendous. Okay, number 38 is going to be Trevor Bauer. I mean, listen, if Trevor Bauer was in the majors and pitching, he probably would be a top 50 player, but obviously we know that there are some things going on off the field with Trevor Bauer that keeps him from playing right now in the majors, attempting to come back. I think talent-wise, he could have been a top 50 player for sure because, I mean, when he left, he was kind of at his peak. I don't know if he'd be top 50 right now just because I don't rank pitchers as highly as some other people, but it wouldn't be surprising if he was still in the majors. 37, Kyle Wright. Wow. I mean, he pitched really, really well a couple seasons ago with the Braves last year. Obviously had the injuries. I think he's a great pickup for the Royals, who are a sneaky team to win the AL Central this year. That's all I'm saying. Keep an eye out for the Royals. I like what they're doing in Kansas City. But yeah, Kyle Wright at 37. This guy, I'm getting a feeling here that he really went hard on the young players and prospects. Specifically on the pitching side, he seems to be going crazy hard on them. At number 36, we've got Rafael Devers, who I put at number 35 last year. That's pretty good. That's pretty good with Rafael Devers. Completely money with where he's at on his evaluation of him going forward. So shout out to this guy. Number 35, we've got, oh no. Joe Adell. Poor Joe Adell. I was so hyped on this guy. Crazy story, was supposed to interview him in spring training in 2019. The day before the interview, he slid into second base, hurt his leg, hurt his knee, and he's kind of never been the same player. So I'm so sorry about that, Joe Adell. It's just unfortunate because he was getting like the kind of next Mike Trout comps. A guy who was a freak athlete, lots of power, but he has not been able to put it together at the major league level. He is not even a major leaguer really right now. Number 34, we've got, Jurickson Profar. Oh, hold on. Did he do something in 2019 or the 2018 season that makes me believe that he should have been in? What? Yeah, upon further review, there's absolutely no reason that Jurickson Profar should have ever been considered to go that high. I know he was a top prospect at one point at 28.5. He had a career year, but I don't know. Maybe this is revisionist history here, going back and being a Monday morning quarterback, but this one feels like one of the worst ones. The other ones I can rationalize a little bit. The Jurickson Profar one, I cannot wrap my head around. Number 33 is going to be Aaron Nola. He had a bad season last year, or I should say a shaky season. He's still a great pitcher. I think I'm higher on him than most people are, but yeah, this probably is a little aggressive going into this season, but it's close enough where I'm not going to go crazy. 32, Wander Franco. Yeah, let's not talk about him. Let's move on. Number 31, my favorite number, Javi Baez. Yeah, Javi Baez. I totally get this. He was a beast. He had that season with the Mets, if you remember when he got traded, even just a couple years ago, where he was so great with them. But ever since going to Detroit, the dude has just sucked. There's no way around it. He's clearly not top 50. He's not even close right now. But again, this made sense back in 2019 for sure. Number 30, Aaron Judge. I mean, listen, I can't say that he's too crazy for putting him here. The thing with Judge up until that point was, could he stay healthy? Because he put up that monster rookie season. While he was on the field, you're like, oh, this is one of the best players, but he just couldn't stay healthy. So I totally understand the hesitancy behind Aaron Judge being so low, but we obviously know he's one of the 5, 6, 7 best players in the game. At number 29, we have, Nick Senzel. Yeah. Yikes. Bad. So for some context, Nick Senzel's rookie year was 2019. He was going off of the hype of a prospect of his in 2018. Yeah, Nick Senzel was someone that a lot of people in baseball were really excited about. He was a top 5, I might have been the number 2 or 3 pick in his draft class. The Reds kind of just, for lack of better terms, him up. He's just not a center fielder. They tried to make him one, and it completely derailed his career along with injuries. So feel bad for Nick Senzel. Hope for the best for him in Washington. Number 28, Shohei Ohtani. Whoa! I guess we just didn't realize how insanely incredible Shohei Ohtani truly was at the time. We had seen one season of him where he was a pretty good hitter and threw about 50 innings on the mound, so I could see the hesitancy here, but clearly he's the best player in baseball. It's not even close. 27, Luis Severino. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's on the Mets. I think he's going to have a nice little season as long as he's healthy. And this makes a lot of sense because Severino was dominant in his early years with the Yankees, especially around that 2018-2019 timeline. He was just so good, but the injuries definitely derailed him a little bit. That one sucks to see. Number 26. Okay. All right. Victor Robles. Let's calm down a little bit here. I don't think there was ever really a world where Victor Robles was going to be a top 25 player. I know he had the prospect pedigree. He was a freak athlete, but the bat was always a concern with him, and this one felt aggressive. Again, we're noticing a pattern here. He wanted to be ahead of the curve, I feel like, on some of these younger players, and I respect it. I'll probably do similar, and we'll look back in a couple years and say, what an idiot. But Victor Robles felt like a bold one here at 26, even being a top prospect. Top 25 starter here at number 25, Christian Yelich. Totally fair. Obviously, he's not there right now, but based off of the MVP seasons and stuff, this honestly feels a little conservative for a 4-year projection, but he was closer to right than wrong, even though he's not a top 50 player right now. 24, Jose Ramirez. The Jose Ramirez slander continued. Just people continue to doubt this guy. He's one of the best players in Major League Baseball for sure, and I get it. You probably were like, he's just going to slow down at some point. This shorter, chubbier guy can't continue to be a beast. Well, he has been. He's been great, and as you know, I got J-Ram in my top 10. At number 23, Gleyber Torres. This makes sense. Gleyber had the monster years as a rookie, and this was the beginning of what you thought was going to be a Yankees dynasty that consisted around Gleyber Torres, Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, Luis Severino. Kind of crazy to think how that team looks now compared to what they have, but I get this. It's not the case. Number 22, Matt Chapman. Yeah, did I rank Matt Chapman in my top 50? I don't think I did, which that would make sense. He had a pretty horrible year last year. The strikeout concerns that he mentions are true. He strikes out a ton. The health hasn't been great for him. He hasn't been consistent. He's a free agent, still not on a team. Kind of crazy that Matt Chapman hasn't been signed yet because he is a top 10 third baseman. But yeah, 22, I think we're being aggressive there. I felt like I was a little bit tougher on Matt Chapman than most, especially for the time. Number 21, just outside the top 20, Walker Buehler. Tommy John, that's what hurt him. He was a guy who was a Cy Young candidate when he was healthy. Tommy John stuff knocked him down a little bit. Excited to see what Buehler can do this season, but it is his second Tommy John, so it's concerning a little bit. Getting the top 20 started, Chris Bryant. Yep. No. Same things. You're noticing a pattern here. It's a lot of injuries has kind of turned off these players from being where they could have been. When Chris Bryant was healthy, especially at this time, he was one of the best players in baseball. Like, he put up great numbers always when he was healthy, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy. So, yep, not top 50. Definitely not top 20. Number 19, Eloy Jimenez. I get this too. Retrospect, we now know he's a DH. He's not going to play the outfield, so it would be very hard for him to be here. And the White Sox and him just haven't really gotten together too well. Obviously, he's had some injuries. We remember when they were hanging his jersey as if he passed away in the dugout. That was kind of insane. Just hasn't really clicked for Eloy in Chicago. He needs a change of scenery, and hopefully he gets one soon because he is crazy talented at the plate. Number 18. Forrest Whitley. Yeah, this one sucks to see because Forrest Whitley was such a hyped up pitching prospect, but boy, oh boy, did he even pitch in the majors ever? Yikes. Yeah, so even just like typing in his name, you don't even see it. Forrest Whitley. Oh, that sucks. He hasn't even pitched in the majors. To be fair, going into 2019, he was the number 5 prospect in baseball, so you could totally buy the hype. It's just never gone his way. Again, injuries, a big reason why Forrest Whitley has not even come close to sniffing the majors right now, let alone being the 18th best player in the league in 2023. That one sucks. Feel bad for him. Number 17 is going to be Mackenzie Gore. Yeah, I mean, he was another insanely hyped up pitching prospect. The hype was totally there. He was a top guy, lefty, and yeah, he was kind of getting that Clayton Kershaw comp a little bit that he's mentioning. Obviously not the case, but he did look good for the Nationals last year. Sometimes, and I think this is just kind of a practice in patience, especially on the pitching side for prospects. 1, pitching prospects are fake. Literally the most fake thing in the world. Like, pitching prospects aren't real. 2, it takes a while for pitchers to actually get good. So when you have someone that is so young and so good, kind of like we've seen with Yuri Perez thus far, or even a Sandy Alcantara, it really is special. But a lot of these guys don't hit their stride until they're 27, 28, 29, even 30 years old at times. So Mackenzie Gore, while he is not here right now, he is not a bust by any means. He could be a top pitcher in as soon as the end of next year or even the year following. Like, he has great stuff. It's just not there yet. Number 16 is going to be Blake Snell. And honestly, I kind of hit the nail on the head here. I had Blake Snell a little bit further down. I have him at 48. Again, how I talk about pitching is differently, but he did win the Cy Young Award this past year. So in terms of value last season, for sure makes sense. And the Giants are rumored to get him this next season. So yes, it's not 2023 team prediction, it's more 2024, but kind of on the money here with Blake Snell. Number 15, Adley Rutschman. I had Adley Rutschman at number 23 on my rankings. Totally buy this. I mean, completely changed the Orioles' entire organization having this guy a part of it. He's awesome, the best catcher in baseball, and everything that he's saying here is spot on. Adley was a can't miss, and he did not miss. Number 14, Corey Seager. I had Corey Seager at number 8, and yeah, I mean, we kind of went different ways about it, but he was very right. Like top 15, top 8, top 10, whatever it is. Relatively speaking, a 4-year projection, pretty good for Corey Seager there. Number 13, we've got Alex Bregman, and that makes sense too because Bregman was just so disgustingly good. Is still a really, really good player. I had Bregman at number 30. He has slowed down a little bit since the time that this article was written, but this makes sense, and this checks, again, pretty close. I had a good idea of Bregman was still going to be a very good player, just not borderline top 10. At number 12, we've got Mookie Betts. Whoa, Mookie Betts at 12 is quite low. What does he say as to why I mean, 12 is still, like, pretty sick. He's one of the 12 best players, but I'm surprised he's not top 10 just because he's all around so good at the game. Number 12, shockingly low. He also thought he was going to be a Red Sox. Yikes. Okay, number 11, we've got, whoa, Royce Lewis. Wow, Royce Lewis. I mean, listen, I had Royce Lewis at number 50. I love Royce Lewis, and obviously there were some injuries that happened here in Royce Lewis's career that bumped him down in his development a little bit. But 11 was a really bold take for Royce Lewis 4 years in the future, especially because he had not even come close to playing at the major league level. Wow, Royce Lewis, almost top 10. I mean, I like the idea. I really do. Getting the top 10 started at number 10, we've got Carlos Correa, who we thought was going to be on the Angels, and I didn't hate that prediction at the time. We obviously know Carlos Correa had a pretty horrendous season last year. Battled injuries, of course. Weird little player. Did not make my top 50 because of a down season, but last year, going into 2023, he was for sure in my top 50. So this isn't as bad as I think it probably feels right now. Number 9, Manny Machado. I like that. Again, Machado down season, so he got bumped down going into 2024, but I think I had him ranked at number 3 going into the season last year, so I mean, I can't knock this one bit. Machado is still a stud. Number 8, Fernando Tatis. I bumped him down to 19 because he did slow down a little bit, but this checks completely. I mean, when Tatis is healthy, and by the way, he's going to win the National League MVP this upcoming season, just so you guys know. When he's healthy and playing like baseball at his best, he's disgusting, and this is completely fine. Number 7, whoa, Noah Syndergaard, whoa! So this is after the 2018 season, and to be fair, he was really good in 2018, and that was coming off of some amazing years. I guess we just have to check ourselves with, like, remembering the time period, because, again, this was the start of 2019. Yeah, we know Noah Syndergaard is nowhere even close to the top 10, let alone top 50. Syndergaard has just really taken such a huge step back. It's super sad. I loved him on the Mets. I always wanted him to do well. I know he left in such a bizarre way with the Mets that a lot of Mets fans hate him. I definitely, I don't want to say took enjoyment out of seeing him struggle a little bit, but it felt good that the guy who kind of shat on the Mets a little bit struggled a little bit, but I still want him to come back. Like, he was such a dominant pitcher when he was good. He was fun for baseball. He had a good personality, or at least attempted to have a good personality, or I liked his personality maybe. But yeah, number 7, not even close. Number 6, Juan Soto. That's pretty right on the money. I have Juan Soto at 6 on my rankings. He's for sure one of the best players, and I think as soon as you saw this guy play, you knew it. Number 5, Francisco Lindor. Wow. Hey, my boy, Frankie. No, he doesn't like to be called Frankie. Don't call him that. Francisco. He had him predicted to the Yankees, and to be fair, I have some videos talking about how I thought Lindor would be a Yankee shortstop in the future. I love how aggressive he was on him. Lindor is right around the top 25. Yeah, I had him at number 25 right now. He just didn't keep up the power and average and OPS numbers to put him in the top 5, but he's still such a sick player. I love that he's a Mets shortstop. Number 4. Who does he have at number 4? He's got Bryce Harper, who he also thought was going to be on the Yankees. So he thought the Yankees were going to have Gary Sanchez, Bryce Harper, Francisco Lindor, Aaron Judge, Gleyber Torres. Oh, man, this is quite the team. I mean, Bryce Harper at 4, I think if there weren't the injuries, along with moving to first base, would be a very, very fair spot to put him. I had Harper at, 16, and I felt terrible doing that. I did not like it. Feels dirty. If Bryce Harper was the top 5 player next year, not surprising at all. He's so sick. Number 3, he's got Ronald Acuna Jr., who I had at number 2 this year, and to be fair, makes a lot of sense. Ronald Acuna Jr. is so sick. Another guy like Soto, who you saw come up, and you're like, oh, disgusting. This guy is amazing. So good. Number 2, he has, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Of course, was one of the most hyped up prospects that we have seen kind of ever. And Vladdy's very good, but he hasn't yet hit that next step. We saw him get so close that one season a couple years ago. But last year was a bit of a step back, just not really becoming that elite hitter that we hoped we would see. Still very good, just not that elite level right now. And then coming in at number 1, I'm guessing it's Trout. And yeah, by team prediction, Phillies. Sorry, Angels fans. It is Mike Trout, which, to be fair, if it weren't for all the injuries that he's had, Mike Trout would probably be number 1, but he just hasn't really played a healthy season in forever. I had Trout at number 5 this year, and I can't knock the guy for having what was at the time the best baseball player I'd ever seen besides Barry Bonds in my lifetime as the number 1 player 4 years later. So shout out Mike Axisa? I don't know how to pronounce your name, man. I'm sorry, but this is a really, really cool article idea. I think this was a phenomenal decision to write this. I hope it's getting some more clicks and views for you, and I'm definitely going to take this idea and do this for the next 5 years moving forward. So I guess it would be me trying to predict the top 50 players in Major League Baseball in 2028? Yeah, I think 2028 would be the year. Sounds like a fun video. If you want to see me do that, drop a like on the video. It would help support the channel as well as show me you want to see this video coming out. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Remember, shout out Steven Russell Baseball. I saw him bring this up on TikTok, so I want to make sure I show him some love down in the description. Just follow me on my social media as well at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in the description. Thank you guys for watching. You know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video, and this is my most recent upload, so click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all for another video. Bye!